Hey there, this is my TUZ 16 Actaeon review, and this thing is a squirrely little demon. So on your screen you can see the Actaeon zipping around with a maintenance add-on, and later on there'll be some logs and some other cargo. So despite being a similar size to the Ford F750, the Actaeon is in fact an off-road class, where the F750 is a scout. But the add-ons are comparable though to the F750. It can have a maintenance frame, fuel tanker, roof rack in particular combinations to give you kind of recon and recovery type vehicle, being able to repair up to 650 points of damage and replace 3 wheels. And with the fuel tanker, you can shift 900 litres, which for the size of it is pretty good going. As you can see with the maintenance frame equipped, we're really zipping across this beach, and I'm not steering left or right to try and show off my mad driving skills, but in fact I'm like counter steering, because when let loose this thing is a menace for sure when left in automatic with all-wheel drive engaged. Without all-wheel drive though, it doesn't quite get as squirrely as quickly. This is likely down to the power to weight ratio in general being S+. With the setup I have, it'll very nicely trundle along with a good pace in high range with the off-road gearbox, so I retain the ability to vary my speed in low range when necessary. Driving time will be around 10 to 20 minutes before running dry, though this will vary depending on the task and the ground conditions. When all-wheel drive is not engaged, the average consumption on a road is about 3 litres per minute, and when all-wheel drive is switched on, the average consumption is 5 litres per minute. While off-roading, you can see consumption rates between 5 to 10 litres per minute with all-wheel drive engaged. During a logging test run, I drove across Black River and the consumption was about 8 to 10 litres per minute, and the route has a variety of surfaces including roads, dirt paths, thick mud and water crossings. It's great power, it's a smashing little hauler. So yeah, more on the cargo handling. Firstly, we'll take a look at logging. Now, the Actaeon can equip the log carrier front, meaning the long log carrier trailer is required to go with that said attachment. This means that one of the smallest trucks in the game can be shifting long logs, but only long logs. It cannot in any way transport medium or short logs. As mentioned a little earlier, I crossed Black River from the logging camp in the northeast to the sawmill in the centre of the map, taking a route that crossed roads, dirt paths, mud and water, and I was impressed by the Actaeon's ability to haul the long logs, as other trucks capable of long logs can sometimes be a bit cumbersome and a bit awkward, so it's definitely worth giving it a go. The other way to cargo with this truck is in the same manner as the F750, so you can have a single cargo flatbed and a crane. The single cargo flatbed is a tight space, so it may be difficult to lift cargo out of the actual bed area. Also, likewise with the F750 is that the Actaeon is very small and lightweight, so do be careful when using the crane, especially if lifting something heavy such as steel beams, as you can see on the example on the screen. Here I lift the steel beams onto the roof, like straight on, and then I drive around to the trailer. Don't try and load sideways or you will tip over. When hauling, it may struggle over boulder fields, especially when traversing uphill. The Actaeon can haul large trailers such as the ramped flatbed, enabling a total cargo haul of 5 points. But the optimum is probably, the 2 cargo sidebed trailer, allowing 3 cargo points to be hauled. On the tyres front, there are many options for this truck, including highway, all-terrain, off-road, mud and chain tyres. The mud tyre options are fine, there's nothing really stand out to be honest. There are also multiple suspension options, including active suspension, though I just use the highest settings to allow the largest tyre fitting. As you've no doubt noticed by now, the truck has all-wheel drive and differential lock on a toggle, and as mentioned earlier, the all-wheel drive does increase your fuel consumption by a small amount. Some downsides now. So this truck cannot equip either saddle, though I'm not sure I would risk a low saddle. And this truck is far too small for a high saddle, so this thing would be stuck immediately with something like an 8-slot super heavy cargo trailer. The metal detector is also an add-on which cannot be equipped despite it being the smallest module, and it's kind of a shame because it looks like a lot of wasted space on other bigger trucks. Maybe another maybe odd downside is that if you're in a cargo handling setup, you'll only have one spare tyre, and if you're like me, you occasionally catch a concrete block on a funny angle and wreck the wheel. And as this truck only has 4 wheels, you'll be in a bit of a mess, whereas other trucks have redundancy from having 3 to 4 axles, so more wheels, so then losing a wheel is not as big as a problem. Anyway, I've rambled on for far too long now about this tiny truck. It's almost as if like a tiny truck equals a longer review, which doesn't make sense. And I'm going to rate this truck 8 out of 10 for its size. It's really good. It's like the AF750, but the downsides can be an issue, but definitely give it a go, especially on the long log cargo front. It's pretty fun and I like it. So I want to thank you very much for watching. If you found this video useful, then please let me know down below, and if you could give the video a cheeky little like, as it really helps me and the channel out, and lets me know if these videos are any good. And have a great day.